Yeah. It's a story. The story is told in many sources, and I did a search. I found over a dozen tzaddikim, each one with the same story.
Oh.
But I'll read the version which I liked, I enjoyed the most. Even though I wrote in the thing for the Shiur, Shmuel Munkus Atake, one of the versions of the story has it, Shmuel Munkus.
You spared how many of the brothers, Chabad brothers?
I don't know.
2 or 3, right? It was Phil Parsha or him? Who was them? Parsha, right?
But yeah. So you joining us?
Yeah.
So the best version is from Shmus, the opponent of Yoel Khan's father. He said that the Alter Rebbe and the Maggid, they went out to bring Talmidim to the Heilige Maggid. The Maggid wanted to, they wanted to bring him
Sharpie.
Yeah. So they went to Shklov, and over there was one base medrash. It was called the Klois from the 300 Goinim. It was the base medrash of the 300 Goinim.
Is that the one that
Cloys is a club? What's the Cloys?
Huh? No, it's a different story.
Cloys means club?
No, it means a base medrash. Klois.
I remember my father's father found in the Wiener Cloys.
Exactly. A Klois is a base medrash. It's the Klois from the 300 Goinim. The Alter Rebbe came and told him that my Rebbe is Kana Goinim. They played Rebbe and Gabbai. And the Alter Rebbe was the Gabbai, and he said, Kana Goinim. The sky is Pashut. Okay. So they were asking him that he should give a drosha in the clothes of the 300 Goinim. The Mendel of Erdok got up on the bima, and he said, well, how do you want to do it? Atem otzi oti or shani otzi etem? He said, do you want to ask questions or should I ask you questions? They had a little debate back and forth. They said, you start with a question. He said, Mishnah, that if a person learns Torah Lishma, Zechel Dvarim Harba. For sure, in the clothes from the 300 Goinim, let him in Torah Lishma. Who is the Dvarim Harba? I don't see the Dvarim Harba. The Mishnah says that they have Malchus, Memshola, Kikurdin, Rose Torah. Around the room. Anyone over here? The Megala from heaven? Is anyone here Rose Torah?
If you're looking for that, you won't get it. I'll come to you if you're not looking.
Guys got angry. They realized this was someone from the cut. Someone from the cut that tricked them. And the Maggid, the Mendeleev Radak jumped off the bima, and the Alter Rebbe, they ran out of the base medrash before they could grab them and beat them up. But and the people were really angry. But there were a few people in the crowd that said, "Hey, the man had a good question. If we're learning Torah Lishma, where's the Dvarim Harba? How come Leonov is not coming to tell us Sisrei Torah? The Mishnah says that Kol Olam Kedai Oloi, and they give him Megalaloi Rosei Torah. Where's the Rosei Torah?
Rosei meaning what?
Secrets of the Torah.
Sisra and Rosei the same meaning?
Yeah. So one of them, his name was Reb Chaim Chaikel Mahamdura. He was a rodent Choshev Sefer Chaim B'Chesed, and he found out where the Alter Rebbe and the Mendel Radok are staying, and he said, "No, what's the answer?" He asked a good question. You ran away. What's the answer to the question? They said, the answer for this question, you got to go to Mezrich. In Mezrich, you're going to get the answer for the question. So he went to Mezrich, and he became a Talmud of the Maggid. And originally, he was a Talmud of the Vilna Gaon, and then he became one of the most choshev Talmidim of the Maggid. Okay, so this is the story of the first 6 weeks before Matan Torah. Everyone has the minute to read Pirkei Avos. Chabad has the minute to do the whole year. I mean the whole summer, because Derech Eretz called Matan Torah, especially the sixth Pedek, which is not really a Mishnah, it's really a Braisa that was said B'Lashon HaMishnah. It's called Pedek Kinyan Torah. It's all about the importance of Torah.
Aren't most Eden doing the whole Pirkei of that entire summer, not just those schools? I think most Eden.
Yeah, most people do it all summer. Yeah, okay. The original minhag mostly was just because Derech Eretz Kodem LaTorah was the weeks before Shavuos. Then it developed.
Was the entire summer.
Okay, fine, very nice. Shonach Chachamim B'Lashon HaMishnah. That this was a brayse, but it was read B'Lashon HaMishnah. Rashi says, "Lefish Adash Kol HaPrakim HaMishnah." Utzachat Eloidia Shemekam Ve'elech brayse, but as a mask B'Hem Shonach Chachamim B'Lashon HaMishnah Kolam brayse B'Lashon HaMishnah Hishnui. But a Mishnah, it's not really a Mishnah. And then we start the Mashon Chachamim. Rabbi Meir Omer, Umetech Shemaimori Perik Zeh Divrei Agodohim, Nogel Omre Bebeis HaKnesses, Im Shor HaProkim Alolu Shal Meseches Ovis. That minig is to say it in the Beis HaKnesses. When do we say it in the Beis HaKnesses? Like I said, either before Shavuos or the entire summer. So we consider it as if it's a Perik. The story is that the reason why we count it as a Pedic with Pashtus is because that that makes the that completes because we need 6 prokim. We want to have Tel Shavuos.
Also, there's 48 ways of Kinyan Torah. That's a 48 days.
Right, but Pashtus, because it's Kinyan Torah, you learn the Shabbos before Shavuos. And the whole idea why we're learning Pirkei Avos is get ready for Matan Torah. Okay, let's read it again. Something
also with Eisha's Chayil. Chayil is also 48.
Rabbi Meir Omer, Kol Oisik B'Torah L'Shma, Zechel Dvarim Harbe. Rabbi Meir says, if a person learns Torah L'Shma, he's Zechel Dvarim Harbe. Lo Yoid, L'Shkol Oilam Kula Kedai V'Loi. The whole world is Roi for him. The whole world is really created for him. Nikra, he's called. Adeya, he's a friend. Ohuv, he's beloved. Oivetz Amokim Oivetz Abrius. He has Avat to the Eibush and Avat to the Brius. Samech Amokim Samech Abrius. He brings Simcha to the Eibush and Simcha to people. Namabashtoi, and he gets as a Lavush Anova V'Yira, and he also gets Machshar Toilias Tzadik Chosed Yoshev Enem. The Torah makes him prepared to be these 4 things: a Tzadik, a Chosed Yoshev Enem. Okay, turn the page. The Torah brings him far from the Chet, and brings him close to Schus. The people have a noah to be able to ask a person who learns Torah. They could ask him an Eitzah. They want to know, what should I do? This business, that business. Ask a Talmud Chochem. He'll give you a good Eitzah. Shenema li Eitzah. The Torah says li Eitzah Tashia ani bina li Gvura. So a person that learns Torah has these 4 miles.
Torah has
the answers for everything.
Yes.
1 second. V'nesenes loy malchus memshala v'chikur din, and megalin loy rozek Torah. V'nasa kamayim mizgaberach v'no shenek poisek. V'hevet tzanua. Torah makes him, it should be a tzanua. Yeah. V'erech haruach. And that he has erech ruach for people that kutshim the beiner. He has patience. U'moichel alaboyna. He forgives when they insult him. And Torah brings him, picks him up. So then, another mensch, he becomes someone that has godless veremus.
The Torah is like that. It's not a Torah of a human being has feelings. So this you get this law of Hakadosh Baruch Hu.
It's a chock full of nuts. Like, what's the connection over here? And the emes is, the main kasha is very funny. Who are we talking to? If a person is already learning Torah Lishma, what are you giving him a list of Dvarim Harbe? He's not asking for anything. And if he's not learning Torah Lishma, and you want to tell him it's Kedai to learn Torah Lishma, so you're telling me it's Kedai to learn Torah Lishma, because if you learn Torah Lishma, you're gonna get 32 gifts. And here's a list of the 32 gifts you're gonna get. Hello? You're telling him he should learn Torah Lishma, not for the gifts. Who are we talking to? As in the story of the Alter Rebbe and the Mendel Haradoker, Taki, you hear something. that the Mendel Adoka asked the 300 goinim in the Kloiz and Shklov with Anigan. He said, "Ihr seid doch the Geoinim. Ihr lernt doch Torah Lishma. Is Vuzan in the Dvarim Harba? Where's the Dvarim Harba?" He said to them. Where is the Megalan Loirose Torah? Said Chaim Chakel Mandurat Gechapt, and he wanted to know the answer. They sent him to the Maggid the Mezrich, and he became from the Gedolah Talmidei HaMaggid. But on a simple level, like what's going on here? And then Bichlal, it's like Mishnah is probably one or the most disjointed Mishnah in the entire Pirkei Avos. There's like things flying, things are coming, things are going. What's the common thread? What's going on in this Mishnah? There's so much happening in the Mishnah. Are you going to say that no, we're not trying to convince them to lo Torah lishma? Like the Rambam says that a person that does the mitzvahs, the Eibishter takes away all the disturbances in order for them to be able to do the mitzvahs. So the Eibishter makes it they should be able to live comfortably. If a person is sick, how can he learn Torah? If a person has a headache, how can he learn Torah? So the Eibishter takes away all this daigas. That's the famous Rambam Cheshuva in the beginning of Perek Tes. So that can answer for 5-6 of the Dvarim Harba. But we have here literally more than 18 Dvarim Harba. That what's going on and what's the common thread? And then there's a lot of questions like, we spoke about this last 2 weeks ago when we spoke. Remember we did another mission at Beisham. Remember we did the mission at Beisham? Yeah. The Rebbe's big thing is in this Perek has to be Milsa de Chasidusa. It can't be a Etzem Adin, because if it's Etzem Adin, if it's Shuras Adin, then you can't say it's Lefnim Shuras Adin. You can't say you'll be a big tzaddik, a big chosser, give him nishken frask. Gambe nish, don't shoplift. You'll be a tzaddik, or don't gambe. That you can't say that. If you don't gambe, you're not a tzaddik. You're doing the Shuras Adin. So to say they have to have avas hamokim, avas abriyas, it's a mitzvah semen HaTorah. A lot of the things here, like where's the midas chassidus? Obviously, you're mechuyev to have it. And then a lot of the things also like funny. What's the pshat merachakte menachet? It takes them far. If you don't learn Torah lishma, even if you don't learn Torah lishma, stam yidas chet. The malamed at the hot agrois kanchik at them giving the poshmitz. And the Mishnah says the only way that you're going to go away from Aveda is from learning Torah Lishma. And what's if I'm not learning Torah Lishma? I can't hold myself away from doing Aveda. It's very funny. And then the funniest thing, for example, is Moichel al Alboinoi. You know what Moichel al Alboinoi means? A person's insulted, then he forgives. That's the Torah Lishma. How about the Shulchan not get insulted from Narishkeiten? Moichel al means he's already insulted. Hashem Baleid. Why? Because he learns Torah Lishma. Forgive and forget. No, there's no bigger Maila. The Rambam says the Maila Tzadikim v'Chasidim they don't get insulted. Everything in the has is out Narishkeit and Hevel Avolim.
So you bring out that if you don't learn Lishma, you won't be a Malcham.
It's very funny, exactly. What if he doesn't learn Torah Lishma? If he learns Torah, like, for whatever reason, Shaloi Lishma, then he won't be Meichel al Boinei. It's like very funny. And also a lot of the Lashonis. It's like poetic almost. Malbashte anova, machsharte li is tzaddik, merachakte menachet, mikarvase l'dei zchus. It's almost like Emor was trying to be poetic over here, using different words. Like, well, what's the shot in all these words? Megaldalto, meremamto, it's a double ocean. Okay. The Rebbe says the beer is like this. The person who learns Torah Lishma has a question. He's busy, he's learning Torah Lishma. Torah Lishma can mean many things, just like Shloi Lishma can mean many things. Torah Lishma, Pinigla, on the simplest level, means that he's not learning in order to know. Leida Samais is learning because the Eibush Geis and Salam and Torah. If you learn in Tanya, the Torah Lishma is Lakash and Afsal Hashem. Not because he wants to know, and not because Laravas Nafshatz Meya, just because he wants to become one with the Kulachad with the Eibush. He's learning Torah.
Chani is saying she's going to a Tanya sheet.
Oh, very good. The Eibush will help. Chani's finding soon a good shidduch. So, L'chaim.
Can you explain what you just said? So you're learning just for the sake of learning, for the Shema?
Yeah, he's learning to become one with Hashem. So
You
There's
can't
many
get any
levels.
pleasure.
Well,
You can't learn to know the halachas. You can't learn the stories to share with your kids or in Kirov trips. No.
yeah, you got it. So,
Well,
so
all those are side things what he's mentioning is not lishma. I
don't
know.
worry. There's many levels in the Shema, but we're saying Torah Lishma, we mean something on a high level, right? That it's more than the din. It's lifnim mishuras adin. He's learning. Obviously, we're talking here lifnim mishuras adin. We're talking midas chasidis. So maybe not talking the highest level in Tanya. He's learning for only one reason to become one with the Eibishter. But we're talking something very high, right? And then we're saying is oisik. What's it mean oisik? The Frierdiker Rebbe said that what's the pshat oisik? Oisik means a bal Isik. I was thinking, how can I get more rent, and how can I get another tenant, and how can I pay less rent? And a person who works, he's the worker, locks the door. A guy schlufen, a schluft git. Mesuke shnasa oivid. The balabos schluft nicht bei Nacht. He's
The
thinking.
the balabas works 8 days a week.
8 days a week. He's thinking overtime. He's always thinking how he could get more profit, how he could spend less, how he can get more customers, how he can expand his business. Maybe he could charge a little more. Maybe he could give a little less, right?
Or what did he do wrong to the previous customer? Himself.
So Asik, a Bal Asik is always thinking. So what is the Pshat Oisik B'Torah Lishma? That not only is learning Torah Lishma, but he's doing it V'Yegia Atzuma. Ba'amul B'Yegia. So now the Rebbe says you can learn it on two levels. There could be two questions. The person who learns Torah Lishma asks a question, and the guy sitting on the corner in the Beis Medrash asks a question. Not that guy. This guy over here. This guy over there. A guy is going to ask if he's learning Torah. So l'chorah, he doesn't have time to purify his midas. He doesn't have time to do the milas chasadim.
The Rebbe or the Talmud?
The Rebbe is busy. He's learning Torah Lishma. And the Gemara says, "Kol ha'omer Torah, afilu Torah ein loy." Has to be Torah and Gemilas Chasadim. But he's learning Torah Lishma, ba'ifah shel Isaac. 24/7, he's learning Torah. He never has a chance to do Gemach. He never has a chance to work in his midas. He never has a chance to anything. So l'chorah, he's lacking. He's so lohut to learn Torah Lishma that he's lacking. He's lacking in Midas Chasadim, he's lacking in Ben Adam Lachavedo, he's lacking in his beater of his midas. That's why he's coming to the mayor and he's saying, the mayor, what do we do about it? So the mayor says, don't worry about it. Learning Torah Lishma, you're zoich. Zoich, it's a funny Lashon. It's not the schar. Schar is something else. Learning Torah Lishma, the schar. We have a whole discussion about the Choykrim, what is schar? Is it sguli or it's TV? It's tit for tat, or it's like it's natural. So this says it's natural. It's like, just like a person that throws the rocks on the road and then he slips on his own rocks and he breaks his head in the rocks that he threw on the road. So the schar mitzvah api chasidus is schar mitzvah is mitzvah. The tzavtze v'chiva to the Eibishter. So we're not talking about the schar of the mitzvah. Rebbe Meir didn't say what the schar of the mitzvah is. Rebbe Meir said zoich. What zoicha? He bought a lottery ticket. Zacha begoral. He got $2 million. He got $2 million. Agoidal. He got $2 million. When a person learns Torah Lishma,
buy the ticket doesn't mean you can win it.
Oh, but when you learn Torah Lishma, you're for sure gonna zoicha l'dvarim harba. When you learn Torah Lishma, you have dvarim harba. And in this dvarim harba, there's two types. There's some things that are delivered. They're Uber Eats. Uber Eats. They come straight to your door, deliver Uber Eats, the ending. And the tip is already included. It's Uber Eats and the tip is already included.
Delivered by a drone.
Ataza, yeah. Last year we spoke about when you deliver food by drone with the bracha. It's Uber Eats and it comes right to your door. Some things, when you learn Torah, you're zoichet to get, and you don't get the whole thing. You're getting something. You're getting something. So the Rebbe says, that's why if you look closely, there is things that, for example, all the funny lashonis, there are things that the Eibishter gives as a schus. A person learns Torah Lishma, and he doesn't have time to work on his midas. He doesn't have time to so much do gemach. So the Eibishter gives mezake him. It's a side benefit. What does it mean malbash anova? He doesn't have anova. He's boy shalavush. It comes closer to him. If he'll work a little, he doesn't have to work like a regular person who works for anova. It'll be much easier for him to make some head. Machshar toili is tzaddik chosed yoshev and emet. He's not going to be a tzaddik choshev. Maybe she doesn't take away bechira chavshis. He doesn't give it to him free. He doesn't stop give a freebie to a person who learns Torah Lishma that automatically he'll be a tzaddik chosed yoshev and emet. Elamai has achshor. Someone might work 200 hours to do it, and the person who learns Torah Lishma will get it in 15 minutes. And weiter, merachakte minachet. Not taking away any bechira kavchis. And it's not like we say, "Iataboli de'aved." It's a very strong thing. That's a person who is histakel b'shloish advarim. He's working on himself. So takazoi iataboli de'aved. Here's the Eibishter throws into the dvarim haba a package. He's not going to get a freebie from the Eibishter to say iataboli de'aved. No way. Why should he get such a freebie? The Eibishter doesn't give away such things. Hakabei de Shemaim doesn't make sense. But mirachaktu mirachet, similar to the pasuk says, "Lo yu'unu letzavid kol oven." The Eibishter makes as azus. He throws into the package a yid that learns per lishma b'efeshal esak that he should be rochik mirachet, and also mekarafter l'dei zchus. But again, he doesn't make the zchus come automatically. These are the four things which are. Then there's taka thing that he gets on a silver platter. It's nicker to the whole world that everyone is here to serve him. So Mela, that his things are come to him easy, and he's zoiche to get avas hamokim and avas habriyas, and taka these things they come taka on a silver platter. There's a dargan avas hamokim and avas Hashem and simchas Hashem. He gets taka as a freebie. There are things that a pashat, a person who's oisek, he's busy 24/7 learning Torah Lishma. And he didn't have time to work on Avos Hashem. He didn't have time to work on his simcha. And the Eibishter throws it in. The Eibishter gives it to him as a freebie. So that's the pshat of what's going on in the Mishnah. It's a long list of things. And these are things that the Eibishter gives by Shal Schus. This is not the reward. This is not the reward. Hayois, he is oisek 24/7. But Torah Lishma, so he's oisek l'dvarim harba. That's one mahalach.
You said simcha, and what was the other one?
Whatever it says here in the Mishnah, there's simcha and ava. Yeah, simcha and ava. The other mahalach that Rebbe says is a person that Rebbe says perhaps another mahalach that Rebbe says. A person looks at a yid that learned Torah Lishma his whole life. This guy's a battle. Don't send him to Washington. If Aguda will have to send someone to Washington, so the shikin from the durchgetriebene Askonim. If Lubavitch needs the HQ needs to send someone to Washington, so shikin from. I'm sure likes to say a story. He came to Lubavitch. Was who Lubavitch spoke English? Think about people his age. They were born in Chernihiv. They were born in Makan, Tashkent. Shmuley Friedman's father unfortunately passed away last week. His cousin, we're cousins, second cousins. I was very friendly with him, Dafka. So he used to run Tzidei Agudas Chabad, but then you can't learn English. And you can't learn English.
This big word of Deutsch.
No. So he asked. So my father came from the Bronx. Oh, Gil, I'm Machaya. If someone knows how to speak a word from English, I was so excited with. A fat fish fell into the net in Lubavitch. Finally they had someone that speaks English. My father was saying Shabbos that there was a dean in one of the colleges from the Yid. He remembers even his name, Nuremberg. He doesn't remember first life, doesn't remember which college he was. And he kept on calling Lubavitch, and he said, I want to do something. I want to set up at that time Hillel already had Hillel houses, but there was nothing Lubavitch on campus. And he wanted to say, from the Yid and in the campus. From the Yid. And he kept on calling. We're talking about in the early 60s, 1960, 61, 62. There was zero Chabad on campus. he said, could you please, and Rabbi Alevsky, Leibel Alevsky, you know what, the Estmandas, what are you supposed to do here? Here's a dean at Chosheva College. Gil, could you go visit Fallon went, and the dean of the college said he had a brochure from ExxonMobil, brochure. He said, I'm giving you this as a gift. This is worth $100,000.
Those days, $100,000.
Yeah. He says they've got the best marketers in the world to market their company. Now, I would like that Chabad should send out these brochures to every campus in the United States of America. That they should invite Chabad like for an evening, and then you'll invite the students to come to 770. That started the Begisha. He says, I'm giving you now, this is worth $100,000. This is worth $100,000. You just have to copy it. And my Shetaka worked on it. He got, so he needed to get who Lubavitch could speak at that time. Who could speak English? It was Professor Hanukkah. It was a Balchuva. The Rebbe had made sure every 2 hours another Chavrus along with him. He came to Lubavitch 1958. One of the first Balachuvas, Professor Hanukkah, who had this company, he had the solar. He was very, he had a lot of patents. His family had patents on the solar energy. Yankel Block, early Batshuvas, early the part of the hippies, and they put together a whole thing, and they had Rabbi Posner from Nashville help them out, and they sent him to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe was very happy with it, and that's how they started Chabad on campus. And then they the big issues. That's how they started the big issues. The big issues are going till today. So funny thing is, he says that they went to Mekah Shlichus, and he goes to Rabbi Chadakov, and he went to itinerary. So one of the places they were going to stop in a college in Washington D.C. Washington. If you want to go to Washington, you have to talk to Rabbi Krinsky. Every meeting you have, every step you take. So my father-in-law says he understood. Rabbi Chadakov was scared Chabad is going to be handcuffed and kicked out of America. You understand? Rabbi Chadakov was the Rebbe's secretary. But there was an authoritarian government in Latvia for 10 years, 1930, 1940, and he was appointed under the Minister of Education to be in charge of all the education in Latvia. It's unbelievable. The Maskilim was so angry. No, he was a Lubavitch kid from Benchakovich, a real Lubavitch town. And his parents, for Parnasa, moved to Latvia. And he learned in Cheder Dorten by one of Tamidim, Yisrael Salante, given, you're lucky. The Rebbe used to make jokes. Then the Rebbe used to tell him, if you can take l'chaim, that some like chase out of you the Muslim. He was a Muslim.
The Rebbe asked for a raise. He got no.
He was. The Rebbe liked him. But he was an old timer. He had his head was screwed on differently. And my father-in-law didn't know what to do, but he had the tour. So he went to Rabbi Krinsky and said, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Tell Rabbi Chadakov, you checked everything with me. It's good. So you understand? Shaila is, who are we going to send to Washington? So comes again Ayid, and he says, this Baklan that sits in the base of Medrash, you're sending him to Washington? He doesn't know directions, how to get there. And you're sending him? So that's why Rabbi Meir is talking to two people. He's talking also to the person on the outside. He says, you should know that the person which is Oisik B'Torah L'Shmo, which again, Oisik means that he does it by from the Asik 24/7, L'Shmo, whatever you think is L'Shmo, Apitanya, connect with Eibishter, even Api Nigla, that he's not learning later, Samaiso Shayasin, Mama, she's learning Torah because the Torah Geis Alanan, Drush V'Kabal Schar, whatever it is. So he's a Yid 24/7 and learning. So Heve Amina, that this guy, Versteht nicht, Ayuko, a Batlan. So we say, no, it's not true. The Eibishter gives him Dvorim Harbe. And they're both in Shoschus. It's not the reward of his learning, but that comes a mela. Neni mimenu eitzavet tushia. That even though l'choira you think he's a moedik batlan, but the Eibishter makes that he should have, that the oilam should have a noah from getting from him eitzavet tushia. That's why the Eibishter gives. The koyach HaTorah is that you have from him eitzavet tushia. It's an unbelievable thing. It's an unbelievable thing. This is like the house that we bought from Mr. Cooperstein. He always used to live for years. I knew him for all these years. He loved to tell me the story that he went to the Rebbe and many times for brachas. He said, "All the Rebbes give bruchas, bruchas, bruchas." The Lubavitcher Rebbe told me once, he was a business. He said, "Rabbi Yosef's in a shvach." He said, "Every Rebbe give bruchas." But the
I wonder
Rebbe,
what brought him to Lubavitch. Before Lubavitch would give out these tin menorahs, he started the tin menorahs on his own, and he made thousands
so
a day.
Lubavitch contacted him. I don't know before, after. He did it the way he told me. It was the menorahs was the Rebbe's idea, and the Rebbe sent the Lubavitch approached
He
him.
started
No, Lubavitch asked him to do it.
Okay.
That's what he told me.
Uh-huh.
That's what he told me. Lubavitch asked him to do it, so that's why he did it.
Uh-huh.
He said he did it a lot of work for free, a lot of work on a cost
Uh-huh.
price.
Uh-huh.
Lubavitch asked him to do it.
Thibault,
That's the yeah.
good friend of my parents.
Very nice guy. So this should be Lezeich and Shmosik. Anyway, that's a shot. That's a shot. The mayor said talking.
He's still around, no?
No, he passed away
When?
before Pesach.
Oh wow.
So that's a shot. That's a shot that the maid is talking to the Yidden also that are standing in the outside, and they're not makir. You know, I think in America it was a big problem. A lot of people were scared to let their kids become loim de Torah because they're scared that the kids are going to be detached from this world. That they're going to be like, totally, not shy, whatever.
Like a village bird.
Yeah. The answer is not true. Abisha says, "Fakert neni memenu eitzav esushina binu gvura." So that's a shot from the mayor. So again, you could say that the mayor is talking to the loimet Torah himself, which is chadaygid, that he's learning Torah 24/7. He's not working on his midas and his midas ava, midas simcha. He's not working with other people. So the Abisha says, "Don't worry, I'll give it to you as a schus. That I give you on a silver platter." The other stuff, midas toivas, I'm not going to give it to you a silver platter, but I'll make it closer to you so that you can work on yourself and you'll get it. Or you could say the mayor was talking also to the people that are not Oisek B'Torah L'Shma, but they're looking at the Oisek Torah L'Shma as if he's a batlan. And the mayor said, "You're making a big mistake. Fakir Torah, because he learns Torah L'Shma, he's Zoich L'Dvarim Harbe." And the Rebbe says maybe that's the double ocean of right at the end when we talk about the long list of things, Megadalta Meremamtoi, that's connected to two things. That there is the Torah itself is the union of that's some limit Torah Lishma makes him merumim. Merumim means betzim, much higher. And because of this zoichel dvarim harbe, then it becomes godel. When you say godel, it's like godel and kot, like the story the story the story with the matzah. I love to tell it always when I do yachats. That's what they say about the Rebbe Rashab. Someone was measuring because it was like very close. So he said that Godel was a Godel because he's bigger than the cotton, it's can Godelish. So anyway, it's Sichos. So Godel is be'erech to the cotton. Roimamus is be'etzem. So when a person learns Torah Lishma, Roimamus, he has be'etzem. Gadlus means, because the Eibishter gives him the Dvarim Harbe, so Taka, he has Roimamus is be'etzem. Merumim. Merumim is like exalted. No, Roimamus is not Lefierech something else. Remus could be be'etzim, merumah. And gedula usually means godul v'erech hakot. So the Rebbe is saying the etzim in the Torah Lishma makes a person like the Gemara says about Rabbi Yosef. Ilav hayom v'kilamad the Torah v'nisrei mamti. And the Torah brings roimemus in a yid. The dvarim harbe that David gives us chus of learning Torah is gadlus because he becomes bigger than the world. He has malach, he has dominion. As it's a toivus, so very aggressive from the world, it becomes larger than life. But from the Torah itself, he becomes merumah, and from the Dvarim Harbe, he gains gadlus. The Rebbe says, okay, so this is the pshat. The Rebbe says that the emphasis l'choira could say not every yid is zocheh to learn Torah l'shma, but still Tanya says every yid has to try at least b'tchilas limudei to learn Torah l'shma. Why is it so important to try to learn Torah l'shma? One of the nekudas is because really Torah is ein sof, the Eibishter Alein. How could a yid be zocheh to connect with the Eibishter Alein? So a yid at least b'tchilas limudei, at least to try to learn Torah l'shma. A yid puts in the effort. Huh? The Alter Rebbe says, like when a person learns, just like before you write a get, yes, Areini Koisev gets Lishmo, or Areini Koisev L'Shem Kedushah B'Torah. Even though B'Shas is so he should try to focus before he starts learning to think for a few minutes that his learning Torah is in order to be in discussion with the Eibush. And the Rebbe says that you could say that why is it important? Because the etzem inyan of the learning is how do I become one with the Eibush? That if I'm mevatel myself to the Eibush, I'm zoiche become one with the Eibush. The Rebbe says that Bepashtus, it's funny that the Pirkei Yoveh starts with the Kola Oitzer B'Torah Lishma, and then the next Mishnah is talking lower dargis. Kol v'yoyim Baskol Yetz Ma'achayve Hol Mishes, because the Rebbe says that Bepashtus, that's the way it happened by Mount Torah. When they got the Torah, the Yidden was porch in the Shmos. Afterwards, they learn Torah slowly, and they, it's the same thing here. The Pirkei Avos Pedic, which is called Kinyan Torah, the Pedic starts with the Inyan of Torah Lishma, just like the Alter Rebbe says. And Betchilas Limudoi, you can't expect everyone the whole limud should be Ba'if and Shalishma, but Betchilas Limudoi, just like when you didn't buy Matan Torah, Betchila when you didn't get the Torah, it was Korch and Shmos, and it was Ba'if and Ameridik and Bittul. It's the same thing here. When you eat, before he learns, Alter Rebbe says, is try to take a minute or two to think that my learning is now like to become one with the Eibishter, Lishma, whatever Lishma is.
You mentioned many times tonight, you learn Lishma, you can have Dvorim Harvey. What did you didn't explain what Dvorim Harvey is.
All the things here in the Mishnah. He's Zoiche for all these things in the Mishnah, including that he's Zoiche to get the Rozei Torah. He gets the Rozei, the secrets of the Torah.
That's unbelievable.
Like a Shimon Bayachai.
Coming up. Online.
I heard they closed. You just said that they closed it down.
So now you understand. Now you understand. They closed down the whole Meron this year. They won't let anyone.
1,500 people. They're gonna let 1,500.
Just 1,500 people.
Literally, there's a problem, the too much is crowd, probably worried about
They're
that.
scared that Rahman al-Islam.
Hopefully by then they're gonna push.
No,
it.
they have to, safety one, they have to.
How many people were there in the past? How many thousands?
Thousands. What are you talking about? 100,000.
15, 20,000 easy.
No more. It's
Easy.
not that fella. There's a huge amount of people that go.
So it says Nikarea, Swan, it says Shutaf look at his vocal, but massive variation.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
That is crazy.
Okay, David Shalhalfen, just like the story of the Chaim Kaiko of Mamduda, that we should all of a sudden get a jolt. We should ask the Shaila Takya, how do we end up learning Torah Lishma in order to get the Dvorim Harbe? And we should get the answer, and we should be zeich to get the Dvorim Harbe.
But most people learn Torah this month.
Oh,
Wow.
They don't learn.
You're gonna
You mentioned
I
two
mean,
oil companies
again-
before. I don't remember why you mentioned the two oil companies before.
Probably.
That reminds me of a joke. There was a very time, 20, 30 years ago, all the companies were urging to save money on expenses. They have the same people work. So the joke goes like this: why didn't Mobil and Exxon join? Because if they're going to join the two names together, the beginning part of Mobil and the end part of Chevron would be a good name. More on the company.
Thank you.